Fallout New Vegas is one of the best RPGs ever made, with a feeling of replayability that the gaming industry quite often fails to replicate. From mini-nuke launchers to the Gobi rifle to ballistic fists, you can conquer the Mojave through force. But can you beat Fallout New Vegas without attacking in combat? Now, this is not gonna be a goody two-shoes pacifist no-kill run. No, this is Nina, a Black Widow whose charisma will make the Mojave and everyone in it bow down through both her charm and mental acuity. Combat, that's beneath her, but other than that, she'll do just about everything to free the Mojave from the powers that are trying to reign freely over it. On one fateful night, a man in a checkered suit intercepted this courier, and 2 bullets and a shovel later, she was still breathing and dreaming with the perfect plan to make an independent New Vegas a dream came true. The stats are 10 endurance, 10 charisma, 7 intelligence, and luck 10. And her traits are good-natured and skilled. The first thing we're gonna do is to look for every single thing that's worth taking from Doc Mitchell's house. The magazine, all possible stimpaks, and even the broken submachine gun. Then we're gonna start selling everything we have that's combat related to Chet until he's out of money. But the most important thing in Good Springs is in the schoolhouse inside the locked safe. It's gonna be our last resort in case we're ever in a pinch. One beautiful stealth boy. And with the setup done, it's time to get this show in the road. Literally. Down the road we'll find Gene skydiving, but instead of going to Prim, we're gonna go into Sloan. Once there, Chomps Lewis tells us not to go on ahead, but why'd we listen to a guy named Chomps? We're gonna go through Neil's shack. He's going to interrupt us with the same spiel, but the plan's already in motion. And if you time it correctly, you can use this rock to jump into the cliff. This is a key part in going from Good Springs to the Strip very early in the game. Except we're not going to the Strip. Well, we are, but there's a lot for us to do beforehand. Instead, we'll pass through the NCR's Ranger Safe House, which will be an extremely useful checkpoint. But it's also just in the way of where we really want to go, the 188 Trading Post, where we'll meet Veronica. We're not gonna be using companions for the run, I just need her to do a little something for me. So after getting on her good side, we're going back to Neil's shack and into Hidden Valley. She punches a couple red scorpions on the way there, but I didn't ask her to, and I could outrun them. What I cannot do is preventing that little psychopath from flattening them. A couple doors later, and she introduces us to Paladin Ramos, and we're done here. So back to the NCR's Ranger Safe House, and we'll now start heading in the Strip's direction. Not because of the Strip, but because of the NCR Sharecropper Farm. After getting the map marker, we'll pass through Camp McCarran, the El Rey Motel, and oh, I forgot to dismiss Veronica, so bye girl. Thanks.
Why does everyone always say that?
Fiends spot me, so we run, and eventually they give up. I'm either very, very fast or this gecko is very, very blind, but he did not aggro. Now over here we have Red Rock Canyon, the Great Khan's lair. All I want is the map marker, so let's get back on track. From the NCR Sharecropper Farm, we're gonna go straight into the Gun Runners, where I'll sell everything I can until the Vendortron's out of caps. We're only 27 caps short from passing the future credit check to get into the Strip, but that's not anything to worry about. Going north, we get Freeside's map markers, and after passing by the North Gate, we finally leveled up. I'm gonna dump all my points into speech and take the Black Widow perk. We'll then head out east until we find George the Boomer that's not part of the Boomers. He's eager to make a bet that we won't be able to get to the gate, so we take him up on that. A 300 cap wager. I make it through in my first attempt because the game's been out for 13 years. The guard's in disbelief. Raquel asks us to meet Mother Pearl, so we do. She asks us for help, but no thanks, we've got a run to do. Also, apparently George died, but only thing that means is I get even more caps. Fine by me. We get into Freeside's North Gate and a couple thugs start attacking us. Fortunately, Old Ben comes to our rescue. And I do say fortunately, cause the Securitrons do absolutely nothing to help out. He takes care of them, we submit to the credit check, and we see what happens if you try to get in without doing so. We're then greeted by Victor, who wants us to go and meet Mr. House. We absolutely agree, because we know how to lie. Instead, we're gonna go into Gamora, where the game bugged out and no sound came from the greeter's mouth. When that happens, to me, it means the game's about to crash, and it sure did. I then make sure to get all the free magazines I can, and our next stop is gonna be the Ultralux. Over here, all we want to do is have a little chat with Mortimer. And if you didn't understood why I did all of this until now, you are really close to see it for yourself. The randomness is over. Anyways, our final stop is the tops. I tell the greeter I'm unarmed, and he responds by telling me that my non-existent weapons will be extremely safely guarded. Benny comes down the stairs, we keep our distance, and with this quest completed, we've gained a lot of experience. Our speech has been raised to 93. I took the comprehension perk, and it's time to have a little chat with Benny. Now, if you have the Black Widow perk, you can see the funniest dialogue in the whole game.
You making a pass at me, sister? Because I'm out of your league. Did those bullets scramble your egg? Or have you always been a naughty broad? You're one sick pussycat, baby. There's Quinn's, and then there's... I don't even know what to call you. I hear dig from you, babe, and all I can think of is a shovel. How can this be? This ain't forgiveness. It's something wrong. All right, honey, baby. This is all kinds of wrong, but to my sweet it is. 13th floor. Don't keep me waiting.
Also, yes, we'll be doing it. To his bedroom we go. Just check this out.
You're platinum, pussycat. You know how to swing. Nice Charlies, too. Give him a shake for the Ben man, will you? Hello. Oh, that was a nice bit of hey-hey, girlie. You're a real ring-a-ding broad. Hold me, will you? I swear you wore me out.
The Black Widow perk then gives us the option to kill him in his sleep. No combat needed, so yep, I'll be taking my platinum chip. We can level up once again. I round up the sneak stat, but we're gonna be focusing on medicine from now on. Just playing it safe, I don't want steam packs to be useless. Yes Man then tells us the whole plan that Benny had for this trip, and it sounds great. So we tell him that we can ignore all of the tribes because we are already acquainted with all of them, and we don't care. The quest Beware the Wrath of Kaiser pops up, which is a serious warning. However, as soon as we get out of the tops, Vulpes gives us the Mark of Kaiser, which is an invitation to go and meet Baldy, but it's also a pardon for any atrocity we may have committed. The NCR also sends me an invitation to go and meet Ambassador Crocker. We say yes, but that's because we don't want to anger anyone. What we'll do is pay Mr. House a visit. Victor lets us in, and inside the penthouse we'll be opening the antechamber and going into the control room unscathed. House said he wanted to meet us, so here we are, in person, face to face, and he's pissed. I'm just gonna disable Salty Boy over there. Not that I don't want to kill him. This will do it. Not in the game, but in the lore. And I cannot engage in combat, so yeah, this will be the way. Quest done, we're now level 6, medicine's up to 50, and I don't need any of these perks. So I'll just go with Cherchez la Femme, just because it's a speech perk and it fits Nina. Emily from the Followers of the Apocalypse notices, leaving the Lucky 38 and asks us for our help, but we don't do that. Back to Yes Man to tell him the good news, and we agree to meet in our new headquarters. One very long and unskippable demonstration later, and Yes Man warns us that the Legion will attempt to assassinate the NCR president, Kimball. But like I said, we don't do charity in this run. So our next stop is the Eldorado substation, and this time, instead of having everyone outside, like I've seen on previous challenges, nearly everyone's inside, sleeping in the middle of the afternoon, meaning they'll aggro. I don't have a plan B, I don't know what to do, so I just give it a shot. I just give it a go, run to the terminal, install the override chip to power the substation, and with everyone mad, we dip. For some reason, I was able to fast travel back to the strip. I don't know if it's because the one guard outside was not aggroed, or if the NPCs that followed me were not fully rendered yet. Oh, and fun fact, in the time I did all of this, Vulpes is only now living the strip, and we've hit level 7, all points gone into medicine. Now, guess what time it is? The Legion's just about to start the second battle of Hoover Dam. We're so close, I can taste the victory. Let's do it! Over here, the NCR does not care about me roaming the place for now, but the Legion does, so gotta be careful and have stim packs ready. I'm also thinking let's get an NCR outfit to make sure everything will go smoother later on. Funny enough, you cannot get faction armor in Hoover Dam. That's a shame. It would really help once we try to destroy the generators, but oh well, no matter. I managed to survive the first wave of the Legion and to get into the tower, but this is where the hard part begins. I'm trying to get these two NCR power armor dudes distracted with the Legion, but it's simply not working. And since I don't have NCR armor, they will aggro if we go in, so we wait until the Securitron obliterates that dude and we'll have a chat with the guards. A speech check of 75 will allow us to lie and make them leave their post. We can now install the override chip. Yes man's all happy, we overload the generators and boom! Hoover Dam just became a nothing burger, rendering this whole conflict silly. Back in the previous room, and there's an aggroed NCR ranger that wants to cut my life into pieces, so this'll be my last resort. The stealth boy! We just gotta hope we make it in time to Linnaeus. Unlike within the tower, here in the camp, the Legion will attack you, even with the stealth boy on. So, we run! But fortunately, we did make it in time. A lot of speech checks later, and Linnaeus finally understands that if he plans to overtake the East, it will require so many men that maintaining it will mean that they'll just be moving instead of expanding. After he agrees to leave, his men will no longer attack us, only with words, which is great because the stealth boy's effects ended right after. Now there's only one thing left to do, and that is to confront General Lee Oliver, who kindly teaches me every single swear word that the writers of the game knew. We then introduce these fine gentlemen to our couple upgraded Securitrons, and the cigar is a lie. After another set of speech checks, he decides he would rather not waste his men's lives in vain, protecting a dam that just became a glorified rock. He then tells us how he'd kill us if he had the upper hand, but since he doesn't, he leaves like the little bitch he is. Which then prompts a new level up who'll allow us to choose one last perk, the most fitting one for this run. Terrifying presence. Yes Man then says he's gonna take a nap because he had a busy day, and can you beat Fallout New Vegas without attacking in combat? Yes, yes you can.
We accomplished a lot together. It was fun. Take care.
Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, I hope I'll see you on the next one, and I hope you have a good one. Bye.